Hello students from Zoom class. In this lecture, I'm going to teach you how to make a REST request to an API using Delphi FMX. I'm going to make a REST request to GitHub API. This is the GitHub API to get all users. Then I'm going to show all these users in a list view. And lastly, when you click in an item of the list view, it's going to show more detail of this single user. So for that, you just need to create a new project. I already created it. Then you go to Tools and click in REST Debugger. I'm going to use this tool that is very powerful. This is a tool to make the REST request. I'm going to make a GET request to https://api.github.com, and the content type I want to achieve is JSON. I want to get, and in my parameters resource I put /users. This means I'm going to get the users from GitHub. I'll send the request. It's working. It shows the headers and the body with the user's information. And I hit in copy components. This is going to copy all the REST components I need to use it in Delphi. I can close my REST debugger tool, click in my form and paste it using Ctrl+V. I'll just rename it to REST client. So I have my REST client, my REST request, and my REST response in this order. I'll just rearrange it to be more clear of the functions of each component. My REST client is in the top. It means it's the first, just to understand this topic. My REST client is in the top. This is responsible to have the base URL, api.github.com. REST request is actually who is going to execute to make the request. It has my resource users. And the REST response is the one who is going to get the JSON application data. If I right click in REST response and click in execute, you see we will get a 200 OK response. This means the response was successfully executed and it's storing REST response. But where is my data? That's why I am going to use a TListView to show my users. I'll call it LV users. I'll align it to the client. Perfect. And I just need a way to get this response from REST response and pass it to my list view. As you may know, to put a data in a list view, we need a data set. I'm going to use the memory table, TFD memory table. And I will not go deeper in this topic because the most important part in this lecture is the REST request. But now I want a way. Now I know that my memory table, my data set, is responsible to store some data and put in the list view. You may know that if we right click in the memory table, we load from file some data and connect this memory table to the list view, I will be able to see this data in the list view. So my problem is the following one. I need a way to get the response from REST response and pass it to the memory table. When I have the data in the memory table, I can pass it to the list view. So I need a bridge here between REST response and memory table. This is the TList response dataset adapter. So the function of this REST response dataset adapter is to stay here in the middle, and it's going to be responsible to connect my response from REST response to my data set, that is my FD memory table. Now all is set up. I have the base URL in the client. I have the request here. I execute the REST request. The data is going to be showing in JSON in REST response. Dataset adapter will be responsible to get the data from response and pass it to the dataset memory table. And then for the last, I will connect the memory table to the list view. I will right click in REST request, execute it again. Hopefully it's going to get 200, and I'm going to bind visually my data. put it bigger. As you can see, all the data is already in the memory table, and I'm going to connect the memory table to my list view. My list view is here. I'll put in the side of the memory table. First thing, I connect my sync property of the list view to the star, so it's going to be synced. And I'm going to show the login in the text and the ID in the header of the list view. I can close it. As you can see, I already have the result in design time. The second thing I want to do is that when we click in a user of the list view, it's going to open a new page with more details of this user. That's why I need to open, go to new and open a new multi-device form. I'm going to save it and call it user detail. I'm going to format my form. And in my user detail page, I want to show more information of the user. I'm going to show the login, the ID, the avatar URL, and the followers URL. Just some randomly information. That's why I need 4 T-labels. The first T-label is going to show the login. It's going to show the login at the top. I'll just format the text here. It's not very important now. To center, and I'm going to auto size it. The second label, I'm going to show the avatar URL. This is some more new information. I'm going to put it right here, align horizontally, and put the margins to 20 and 20. Put a new T label. This is going to be for the followers URL. I'm going to align it horizontally and put the margins to 20 and 20 for the left and the right. And the last one, I'm going to show again the ID. Put under followers, align it horizontally, and margins 20 to 20. Perfect. Okay. Now I have a main page. When I click in an item of the list view, it's going to open the user detail page and it's going to show all the data from me. Where is the data from the users? The data from the users are stored in memory table in the data set. This means that if I get this memory table to be accessible in my user detail page, I can just bind visually and I'm done. That's why I will press Alt plus F11. I'm going to import my main unit to my user detail unit. And if I save, wait some seconds and click in bind visually. Okay, it's not yet here. Let's try again. Okay, it takes just a couple of seconds to update it. I'm going to close and open again. Let's try to bind visually again. And as you can see, you have the memory table here in my user detail page. Now I will just connect my memory table data to my labels, my login to the login, my ID to the ID. I'm going to connect my avatar URL to avatar URL and my followers to my followers label. Perfect. If we close it, you can see that it already changed in design time. I'll come back to my main. I will execute it again, the request. Okay, all the users are in the list view, and in my detail page, you can see more users information. I'll run this project. As you can see, we are running it in Windows platform because it's faster to compile, but you could be doing it in Android or iOS, in mobile platforms. Nothing is displayed because I did everything in the design time and now I need to do it in code. That's why I need to execute. I was executing it using right click. Now I need to execute it using code. I go to my form, to events, and in my create event, on create event, I'm going to get my REST request to be executed. Fine, that's enough. Now all the users will be successfully displayed. Here we have a list of the users from GitHub, and we hope that when we click in a user, it's going to show the detailed information. As you can see, nothing is displayed because I didn't put code to make this function. So what I need to do is to go to the list view, and now in my on item click event, when the user clicks in an item, I'm going just to open the user detail page because the list view is synced with the memory table, and I don't need to write code at all. I will press Alt plus F11 to import the user detail. Okay, it's already imported. And I just need to open the user detail page. If not assigned, I'm going to open form user detail. This is the name of my form. Let's come back to user detail and let's edit the form name here. I want the form name to be form user detail. Copy it. And if not assigned, I'm going to create it. Oops. Create in the application. And after created, I'm going to show it. Perfect. I'll just save it and I'm going to do my final test. Here it is a list of users from GitHub, and whenever you click in a user, it's going to show the user's detailed information. And you see that it's been updated. Ivy, it's going to show Ivy, and the last user, Benzerani, it's going to show Benzerani. So that's it for this class. Hope to see you in a next Delphi lecture. Thank you.